The Ford government is set to revamp how alcohol is sold in Ontario, with reporting by Mike Crawley from the CBC saying that beer, wine, and ready-to-drink cocktails will be coming to Ontario corner stores and gas stations in 2026. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Let's talk about it. The key changes include allowing all corner stores and gas stations that sell food to also sell beer, wine, cider, and ready-to-drink cocktails. This would also expand on what grocery stores can sell and allow for all grocery stores to sell as opposed to the current mandated cap of 450 stores in the province. It will also end restrictions that only allow the beer store to sell 12 and 24 packs. And this won't come into effect until January 1st of 2026, and this might be for two reasons. The first and legal reason is the Master Framework Agreement, which is basically a contract that was signed with the beer store 10 years ago, and is essentially the ongoing reason as to why we have the beer store in Ontario. And that contract expires at the end of 2025, so rollout can begin at the beginning of 2026, conveniently allowing for a full rollout to most likely happen right before the 2026 provincial election. That is not to say that Ford planned this timing on purpose. He couldn't have. It is just fortunate timing for him. Although this does not mean that there will be the end of the beer store in Ontario, as the beer store will still have an extremely important fundamental role in alcohol distribution in Ontario. This is for two reasons. First of all, they are one of our main ways to recycle and collect bottles, as well as the fact that they will still be important and in charge of distributing beer to grocery stores, corner stores, and gas stations. Why might this not be a bad thing? We've already seen beer and alcohol being sold in grocery stores. And in terms of politics, expanding alcohol access in Ontario would be a little L liberal move, meaning liberal as in the ideology, not the political party. My personal concern, and where I would lean little c conservative on this issue, is selling of alcohol in gas stations. It just doesn't seem right to me to sell booze to people who are then going to be getting into their vehicles. So hopefully we will also have strong data collection on this to see if it has any impact on drunk driving in our province. And three industry sources have also said that the government will commit to changes in the taxation of beer and wine. This to me is a major concern because the taxation of beer and wine directly attributes to our healthcare funding. Specifically, because alcohol causes a lot of health problems, it's good to tax it so that we can use that money in our healthcare system to solve the problems that it causes. And decreasing tax revenues from alcohol can only lead to one thing: underfunding of public services. On a positive note, the government is going to require retailers to devote some portion of their shelf to Ontario craft brewers and small-scale wineries. And it also seems as though the LCBO will not be affected. At the end of the day, I'm not entirely against this. My concerns are mainly selling booze in gas stations and the decreasing of alcohol sales tax. Because, Doug, where's that money going to come from? What services are you going to cut? Especially considering that traditionally we do view alcohol sales tax as being something that contributes to our healthcare system. Are you just going to continue to underfund and privatize healthcare? But we're just going to have to wait and see. What are your thoughts on this? Leave some comments down below.